Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to do a project pan get ready with me, which basically means getting ready with all of you using the products that are currently in my project pans. I have 3 project pans going on. One is just a regular rolling style 5-pan project pan. Another one is my Pan Those Eyeshadows project pan. And then I also do like a Shop My Stash usage style project pan. So excited to jump into this and get ready using the products that are in all 3 of those project pans. I'm gonna kick it off with base, and I'm actually gonna do a little mix-a-roo. I am working on my NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation in my regular 5-pan rolling style project pan. And then I just rolled in my Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer into my Shop My Stash project pan. And I've actually used these mixed together a couple times in the past, and I like the look because this is obviously a really light foundation, or it's not even a foundation, it's a tinted moisturizer. And this one is definitely fuller coverage, but has looked a little cakey on my skin as of recently, and so I've actually really enjoyed mixing these together. And when I mix, I feel like that's just like a much lighter, fresher face, which I like a lot better on most days. Now that foundation is on, before we powder, I'm just going to use my Pretty Vulgar eyeshadow primer. This is the only eyeshadow primer that I currently have in my collection, so I'm just kind of using it until I finish it up. This is like a product like my mascara or my brow products that just isn't in a project pan but still gets used pretty much every day. For powder, I'm pulling my LYS powder. I just rolled this one into my Shop My Stash project pan, and I'm just gonna set down the primer as well as my foundation. Okay, now that my face is set, I'm gonna actually transition to my eyes, and I'm gonna grab my crease brush, and then I'm also going to grab my Makeup Geek Creme Brulee eyeshadow. As you can see, we are very close to finishing this up. This is just in my rolling style 5-pan project pan. I'm so excited about this because I really want to complete a whole eyeshadow this year, which I'm obviously well on my way to doing. So I'm just gonna throw this into my crease, and then we'll come back and I'll pick out what eyeshadows from my Pan Those Eyeshadows project I'm going to put on today. The rest of my eyeshadow, I think I'm gonna grab my ABH Nouveau palette, and I have the shade Belle in my Pan Those Eyeshadows project. I feel like I'm dangerously close to hitting pan on this one, so I really just wanna keep using it until I do. So I'm just gonna take that and place this all over my lid and then blend it into the crease. Okay, I'm just gonna spend a minute here blending. I actually thought I had hit pan on the Belle shade one of the last couple times I wore it. I could have sworn I hit pan, and then I looked a little closer and I hadn't, but I feel like I am very close. I thought I saw a little shimmer of pan, but I did not. But I do love this eyeshadow look. I feel like it's just so easy and simple. It's definitely become a top favorite of mine and been something I wear pretty often. And it's so great. It's so great for work. I'm getting ready to go into the office, and this is just a great look for me to wear. All right, jumping away from the eyes, I'm now gonna work on the face. So I'm gonna pick up my Milani bronzer in the shade Suntan, and I'm going to bronze up my face a little with this. This bronzer I just recently pulled into my Shop My Stash project pan. I have not given it much usage yet, and so wanted to definitely try and use it a little bit more this rotation. I'm actually going to New York City this weekend. I have a work trip there on Friday, and then I'm going to stay over with my friend who lives in Brooklyn. She used to live in a bunch of different spots in Manhattan, but more recently has moved to Brooklyn, and so I'm gonna stay over at her place on Friday night, and then one of my other best friends, she's coming in on Saturday morning, and then we're just gonna do a girls' day. We were actually originally supposed to bring the critters in with us. My one friend who's visiting also has a kid around the same age as mine, but since I was gonna be there for work, it kind of felt silly to like go in for work on Friday, come home, pick up my son, then go back the next day, and it just seemed like a lot. So we're leaving the kiddos with their dads, and we're doing a little girls' day, which I'm really excited about. I think will be really fun. I am now gonna pick up my NARS blush. This is in my regular 5-pan Rolling Style Project pan. I recently repressed it, so making slow progress, I feel like, on the repress. I feel like always when you repress, the progress to me, based on my very limited experiencing of repressing products, is slow at first, because like it's usually like, in this case, I pack it all into the middle, so it's thicker than it was. But then once you kind of break through that, I feel like it moves much faster. So we will see how this one goes. All right, blush is on. And now I'm going to grab my highlight. So I have 2 highlights. I have my Benefit Cookie highlight and then my Champagne Pop highlight by what used to be called Becca. They've obviously gone out of business, and I think Smashbox now sells this highlight. I think though Champagne Pop goes a little bit better with this eye look, so that is what I'm gonna pull for. I have a pretty good sized pan in this. I'm trying to expand the pan. That's why I moved it into this project. The bigger the pan, the easier it will be to completely pan and finish at some point in the future. So moving back to this eyeshadow, I'm just gonna pick some up on a brush and run it along my lower lash line. This is a less precise brush than I normally use, but I actually like how it's giving more of like a blown out lower lash line. And I also rolled an eyeliner pen into my Shop My Stash project pan. I am kind of anxious about using this, but I'm gonna work on doing a little wing. Maybe not even a little wing, but just a line. I don't hate it, I don't love it. I feel like I've never been the best with using like eyeliner pens like this. I prefer eyeshadow because it can be a little bit messier and more flexible, but I think that turned out okay for what I wanted it to be. I'm now gonna use my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. This is in my Shop My Stash. I'm just gonna use this across my eyelids because when I use this setting spray, which is in my project pan, across my lids, they crease way easier. And then I'm gonna use this like on my forehead and on the rest of my face. Kind of a random weird setting spray concoction, but it has been helping my eyeshadow last longer than when I was just putting this all over my face. Oh my gosh, I love the smell of this. This smells so good. That is like a top favorite for me. And even just like the smell alone, I just love that product. Next, I'm gonna go back into my highlight and just throw this on my inner corner. It's a good way to get like double purpose out of a highlight. For brows, I'm just gonna use my old standby. This is my ABH Brow Freeze. And then for mascara, I'm gonna use my Laura Geller mascara, which I'm very close to finishing, and then my Clinique Lower Lash Eye mascara, which I'm also very close to finishing. So hoping to have those two both as empties here in the next few weeks. All right, we are in the last step. So I have a couple of lip products that I am debating between, but I think what I'm gonna do is actually use a liner, which is not in my project pan, but at some point this year will be. This is my Beauty Vault liner in the shade Cozy Kira. And then on top of that, I'm going to dab my Clay Crush lipstick. This is in my Shop My Stash project pan. And then on top of that, I have to put on my gloss that is in my regular 5-pan Rolling Style project pan because we are getting very close to finishing this one up, so it's gotta be a staple in the routine right now. And I actually really like the shade of the nude lip that I just created. I'm excited. That's the first time I've done that combo with all three. So here is the final look, something super easy to wear for work today, which that is always ideal for me, especially when I'm going into the office. So I hope all of you enjoyed this video, just getting to see me use the products that I'm currently panning and how they all are working together. Very happy with how this look came out, so thank you so much for watching. I hope all of you are doing well and staying safe, and I will see you in my next video.